JJ McCarthy will save the Minnesota Vikings.
Many were shocked when the Minnesota Vikings allowed quarterback Kirk Cousins to walk in free agency and sign with the Atlanta Falcons on a 4-year, $180 million deal. Without the player who led their team for the past 6 seasons, the Vikings looked to turn a new leaf at the quarterback position and selected JJ McCarthy. Today we will break down McCarthy's college career, what scouts thought of him coming into the draft, how he performed at the combine, and how he fared on draft day to ultimately answer the question of if McCarthy will be able to save the Vikings this season. College career. McCarthy was a 4-star recruit coming out of IMG Academy. ESPN rated him as a 4-star recruit and ranked him as the second best quarterback in the 2021 recruiting class. He received attention from some of the top programs in the country, getting scholarship offers from schools like Louisville, LSU, Miami, Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Texas. However, on May 11, 2019, he chose to take his talents to Michigan. Despite being ranked as the second best quarterback in his entire recruiting class, McCarthy's collegiate career got off to a bit of a slow start with him being forced to sit behind junior quarterback Cade McNamara. As a result of this, McCarthy finished the year throwing for only 516 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions on 59 passing attempts. While he was forced to spend most of the year watching from the sidelines, Michigan had an incredible year, making it into the college football playoff as the second seed. However, in the first round, they took on a truly elite Georgia roster. Despite doing all that they could, the Wolverines were stomped by the Bulldogs by a final score of 34-11. Heading into the 2022 season, McCarthy made some noise in the offseason and impressed Michigan's coaching staff. While he did not outright win the starting job, head coach Jim Harbaugh announced that the quarterback competition would continue into the beginning of the regular season.
For the starting quarterback job, JJ McCarthy is going to be really tough.
He went on to win the starting job following a 229-yard, 3-touchdown performance on only 12 passing attempts. McCarthy ended up being the clear correct choice as he also led the Wolverines to the college football playoff. He finished the season throwing for 2,719 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. However, once again, they were defeated in the first round of the playoffs, this time in a 51-45 shootout against TCU. In his final season with Michigan, McCarthy had the strongest season of his entire college career. He finished the year with 2,991 yards, 22 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions while maintaining a ridiculous completion percentage of 72.3%. Michigan once again made a trip to the college football playoffs. However, this time they would not be denied in the first round, taking down Alabama by a final score of 27-10. In the national championship, they were forced to take on Washington. This was a highly touted quarterback showdown between McCarthy and Michael Penix, both of which were projected to be first-round picks. McCarthy led the Wolverines to a dominant 34-13 win, crowning Michigan as the top team in the nation and national championship. In his final time in a Wolverines jersey, McCarthy had a shaky performance, throwing for only 140 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions on 18 passing attempts. However, he did a great job of managing the game and doing what was necessary to ensure that his team came out on top. Leading up to the draft, when talking about his former quarterback, Jim Harbaugh was quoted as saying, "I think he plays quarterback the best of any quarterback in the draft. He's incredible." So, big market, small market. Cold weather, hot weather, it won't matter. Scouting report/combine. Heading into the combine, many did not know what to make of McCarthy. While he was an established winner during his time at Michigan with impressive stats, he was never forced to do too much to win the team games. While he was a proven game manager, a team drafting high in the first round would need much more than that from their potential new franchise quarterback. NFL.com ranked him as the 5th best quarterback in his class in terms of production with a score of 84 out of 100, and 5th in athleticism with a score of 83 for a combined score of 83, once again ranking 5th at his position. Scouts were very high on his ability to step up in big moments, his experience in a pro-style offense, ability to throw on the run, and the toughness he displayed when delivering throws through contact. However, there were some concerns about the time he took to run through all of his progressions, his arm strength, and his ability to avoid pass rushers. Many saw shades of Baker Mayfield in McCarthy's game. In his scouting report of the Michigan quarterback, NFL analyst Lance Zierlein wrote, "Enigmatic quarterback lacking the measurables and splash throws associated with early round quarterbacks, but possessing elements that require more study and consideration. McCarthy lacks frame thickness and a plus arm. He's fairly poised in the pocket, but is average as a pocket passer. His ball placement and timing need to improve to help mitigate an average operation time due to a wind-up release. McCarthy doesn't seek to play out of structure, but is fairly consistent at making positive plays when it happens and ramps up his focus late in games and on third down." Draft day. While it was almost guaranteed that McCarthy was going to be a first-round pick, it was difficult to pinpoint exactly at what point in the round he was going to hear his name called. He did not have to wait long with the Minnesota Vikings trading from the 11th to the 10th pick to select him.
JJ McCarthy.
The deal sent the 11th overall pick, the 129th overall pick, and the 157th overall pick to the New York Jets for the 10th overall pick and the 203rd overall pick. It is clear that the Vikings saw something that they liked in McCarthy and see him as a player who can be their franchise quarterback moving forward. Will JJ McCarthy save the Minnesota Vikings? Despite McCarthy only being a rookie heading into the 2024 season, there is possibly a lot on the line for him in his first year in the league. The NFC North will be a tough division this year, with the Detroit Lions establishing themselves as one of the top teams in the conference last season, the Green Bay Packers catching fire in the second half of the season on the back of quarterback Jordan Love finding his stride, and the Chicago Bears have an extremely eventful offseason, adding loads of veteran talent along with Caleb Williams, the top pick in the 2024 draft. However, the Vikings have a respectable amount of weapons waiting for McCarthy as well on offense. In the offseason, they added former Packers running back Aaron Jones to the team on a one-year, $7 million deal. Along with this, the team features the best wide receiver in the league, Justin Jefferson, who just became the highest-paid player in position history this offseason, signing a four-year, $140 million deal. Alongside him at the wide receiver position, Jordan Addison proved himself as a player who will quickly develop into having the talent of a wide receiver one, excelling as the team's top receiver while Jefferson was sidelined with injuries through a solid chunk of the 2023 season. Rounding out McCarthy's top pass catchers in Minnesota is two-time Pro Bowl tight end TJ Hawkinson. Once JJ takes over as the team starter, there is an adequate amount of talent around him for him to put together a solid rookie season. While his numbers likely will not jump off of the stat sheet, he is a very intelligent quarterback who makes the right play and puts his team in the best position to win possible. However, before he can do this, he must earn the starting spot. It has not yet been confirmed that McCarthy will even be the Vikings starter heading into the season, with the team signing veteran quarterback Sam Darnold over the offseason. Taking a look at Darnold's level of play over the past few seasons, there is a strong chance that if McCarthy does not win the starting spot by week 1, it will not be long into the regular season before he is given his shot. With the talent in the NFC North paired with the Vikings locking in Jefferson to a long-term deal, it appears that they do not plan to take the league by storm overnight, and this could be a rebuild that takes a couple of seasons. If this is their blueprint, McCarthy was the perfect pick at the 10th overall spot. His playstyle will highlight the talent and playmaking ability of the elite pass catchers around him. If he plays with the poise and IQ that he did in college, he will no doubt be the player who saves the Vikings from a dark stretch following the departure of Kirk Cousins.